blowing up and up is magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror now, I'm feeling like a savage. Told my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, daylight lights, camera action. Living in a dream, now my music they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, tried to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Feel like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle.
Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction of the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D as their guys will do battle with the Miami Dolphins. It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports.
That's it, baby. We're going to work. Here we go. Check, 59. Hey, come on out here. Come get it. Go, kill.
Prescott looks to throw on first. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
You better bring it. You better get it up. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it.
Tight dog.
Mike 5'9",
So we got man. Here we go, 46.
They run with Ezekiel Elliott, last year's NFL rushing leader. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. From the 45 on second down, Prescott. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Rosen and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. This is Kenyon Drake, the fourth-year man from Alabama. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line, it's the tight end, it's your wide receivers, everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that they do their job, they'll see another performance just like they saw the week before.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A handoff to the right side. It's Drake. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
On the stop. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 42-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
We ain't giving them nothing. Alert. Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6. 80.
And they'll throw it with Rosen. Steps away to his left. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Was trying to extend the life of that play, wasn't he? Got out of the pocket, ended up scrambling off to his left, trying to find anyone open downfield to try and make a big-time play.
Thought he had an opening there for a second, but that window closed pretty quickly.
He's checking his team. Check them on that. Hey, Delta. Check them on that.
Here's Rosen to throw. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 45-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
Smith. All day, dog. 48 Mike.
On 1st down, Drake. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. The give running right, Drake. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Now Drake. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
Watch twitch. Watch twitch. Watch the shift.
Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 54. 180.
Check 50. Check 50.
Now Prescott. And his throw is incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. But now it'll be 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. He's got his target. It's Cobb. And they're able to get this one across the 35. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back.
Elliott. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. Here's Elliott. And some room to maneuver. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. After a fairly uneventful first quarter, that last play, that'll make a few highlight clips.
It certainly will, and you're exactly right. The first quarter almost felt like a feeling out process, didn't it? Both teams, okay, what are we going to do? Looks like they ramped things up just a little bit to start the 2nd quarter.
No, he missed the PAT. No good on the extra point, so a letdown there, and this will stay a 6-point ball game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
In your face.
On 2nd down now, it's Drake, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kevin Balaj. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
Five. Monday.
They'll look to throw on first down with Josh Rosen. And Dwayne Allen on the ground. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. That's something we didn't see much of from Allen the last couple of years in New England. Heck, last season, 13 games, only 4 targets. But Miami going to try to get him more involved in the passing game as we saw there. And you know he has the capability. You think back to 2012, breaking in with Indy. He had 45 catches that season. On first down, Drake. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Middle. 61, matchbox, right. Hard. Hey, Haywood.
To throw is Rosen. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. DeMarcus Lawrence able to record his 5th sack of the season. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line.
At their own 11-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
It's just me and you.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Torrey McTyer there on the tackle. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he's out right at the 25. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. Too far downfield, something those linemen have to watch out for, and that time it costs them.
All day, just like that.
From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Buying time to his left. Over the middle, Amari Cooper, it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A very solid gain of 27.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
On second down, it's Elliott.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. It was Minkah Fitzpatrick that time to break that one up. Feeling like they're not quite in field goal range yet. They're going to go for it on fourth.
Come on, QB, come on. 59 mark, 59 mark. Check, 59. I got you.
Check, we're going to 54. Why?
Prescott to throw on fourth. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold.
Result of the play is a turnover on downs.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Less than 30 seconds to go in the half. Pretty good starting field position, all things considered. You'd think they definitely have time to get to field goal range.
Yes, and you get into the huddle or you come off the bench here and you've called multiple plays because you're going to say, this is how we're going to run them in order, guys. You don't have time for audibles. You don't have time to change anything. You're trying to get the ball in position to at least get 3. They've got a great shot to do it right here.
Drake will start the drive on the ground. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check, 48, the mark. Let's go, baby. Return up. Get that ball.
Hey, wahoo!
48, alert. Get this war ball. Check 3.
Now it's Rosen. Flush to his right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
It's third down. 3rd and 15.
So we've reached halftime here in a low-scoring affair. 6-0 is our score. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
Find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now Rosen looking to throw. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you say, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Now Balazs, and an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
They'll run here with Balazs. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Now a give, right side. It's Drake. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a fourth and long. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on third and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on fourth down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you've got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us.
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tavon Austin, 77 yards. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there is no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards, as he'll get this only back to the 20. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline, because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Hey, you.
Faking the give to Drake, now Rosen. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Geno Atkins got home that time.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
On third down, Drake. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. Fourth down now after a loss of 2.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. An update now from Philadelphia. And you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. A 1st down throw for Prescott. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Pass on target, Prescott to Cooper. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 31-yard line. Looking back to Cooper's numbers from last year after that trade, he ended up playing 9 games with the Cowboys in 2018. 725 yards, 6 scores. Also had the 100-yard game in the playoffs against the Rams. And if you add up the numbers between the two teams last year, he was over 1,000 for the 3rd time in 4 NFL seasons. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to come back to you. He's crashing.
He's going 47.
10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. And a tackle there will go to Charles Harris.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Check three. Watch.
Prescott from the gun. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tavon Austin. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Rosen will throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
On second down, it's Drake. Now Drake loses the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And fantastic field position has them just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line in the red zone. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you get a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions. Some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it here. This is Mark Walton. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. They go back to Walton. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still 4th down upcoming. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys collect.
And I don't know if he made it out of the end zone. No signal. Yes, it's a safety. So the defense does their job. They get rid of that 0 on the scoreboard. Now we'll see if their offense can come to play.
Well, that's the way you get things started, right? Score yourself on defense, get the ball back for your offense, and tell them, let's go. We're in the game now.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Returnable for Grant. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. The Dolphins on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10. They run again with Walton, and this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Now Austin. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Well, Prescott here to throw. Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Now, they get a 4th quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. So he actually goes back about 9 yards on the return, but the interception is clean, and they have the pigskin, and they take over. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And he's got Cooper on the out route. That's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. Throwing here, Prescott. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better. But sometimes it's just sharpening your execution, sharpening your focus, and maybe doing the things you practiced all week without major adjustments, just doing them better. And that got it done in this one.
So for Dallas, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New Orleans Saints. Meanwhile, for Miami, they'll fall to 1-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.